William is going to go ahead and record.
Yes, thank you. Okay. Welcome, everybody. So, we are talking today about the power of brand identity. This is something that I love to talk about, and I wish we had um, our guru Rod Costner on here, but he's not on here today. He wasn't able to come, but he did add some information to the spread. So this will be good. I've been in real estate, so I am the managing broker for Radius Agent Realty in Texas and Florida, and also Georgia. And so um, I help all of the agents come on and be successful. So what I'd like to talk about though today is brand identity. So generally, most of you guys already have a brand identity figured out. You're already marketing, but I wanted this class to be about if someone is looking to up level to a team lead, or if there's a new agent that wants to potentially join Radius and they're very new to branding. They want to know how to even get started. I'm going to cover all the basics for us. Okay. So, and then third, if you want to just revamp your brand identity, this could definitely help. So, let's get started. So, the importance of brand identity in real estate. So, number one, we want to differentiate ourselves from our competitors. Of course, that's what we do, right? Second, we want to convey what we value, and we want to stay top of mind with consumers. I would say these are the top three reasons why we have to have a brand identity, and the importance of really thoroughly thinking about it before we jump in with it, before we commit. Because this brand identity, if done correctly, can carry you through your entire career with real estate. So let's dive into each thing. So understanding core values and mission. So here are some questions to think about when you're figuring out what you even stand for, right? So what is your vision for your real estate career? What is it? What do you want to be known for? What drives your business? Do you have a niche market? Do you have an ideal customer? We're going to talk about some of these items more in detail, but I wanted to start getting those juices flowing with, what really do you stand for? So first of all, let's research your target audience. So if you didn't know how to really answer those questions, the rest of this class, the rest of this slide deck is going to kind of get those juices flowing. So researching your target audience. So first of all, let's start here. So you need to understand what your target client, who your ideal client would be as far as their specific needs, their desires, their challenges. This is where you can figure out, are they buyers or are they sellers? Like that's the very, foundation. Or are they a little bit of both? Where do they live? What neighborhood are you going for? What area of the city or the region of the state are you really going for? Thinking specifically about these clients, these potential clients, where do they recreate? I mean, are these people who go and play golf on the weekends? Or are these people who go hunting, or, get on a boat and go on, spend time on the boat? Where do they spend their time? This is going to help you figure out exactly who your target client is. Years and years and years ago, I worked with a coach, a real estate coach, and he had really gotten me to drill down. This is like number one thing to do when you're trying to figure out your business strategy. Like, where do these people, go to lunch? Where do these people shop? And he even asked me, what kind of car do they drive? Are they educated? All these things, like really drill down on what your ideal customer is, because it's going to be very telling for where you're going to market yourself, how you're going to brand yourself, how you're going to present yourself to these potential clients. So analyzing your competition, let's move forward, because this is actually an extremely important aspect of brand identity. It is an essential aspect of just marketing strategy and business planning as well. You need to know who else is in your market, who is your exact competition, who do you want to be eventually, right? So who are the successful agents in your area? I would say figure it out from the top 5, the top 3, whatever. Figure out who your top people are. Do they have a team? Do they have a niche? What services do they offer? Because you are going to want to differentiate yourself. So this is how you figure it out. Get a spreadsheet going, have, columns. You're actually doing a competitive analysis on your own business. Define your unique value proposition. This is key. So what can you offer that others don't offer in your area? So once you have that competitive analysis done, you can up level and go to the next step is really figuring out how you differentiate. So what can you offer that no one else does? Or what can you offer better? How can you stand out from the crowd? So now develop your brand personality. So different brand personalities absolutely suit the real estate industry. It's a wonderful industry to have just your own. You can bring your own authentic character, your own authentic look, your own authentic style. You can bring that and really present that in your marketing, because when you're authentic, and I say this is true for basically everyone in business and everyone in sales, I push and push to be your authentic self, because you will attract the people who work best with you. You'll attract the people that you're trying to work with. So based on your understanding of your clients that we've already done so far, define a brand personality that resonates with them. So for instance, if your clients value professionalism and expertise, maybe a more formal and authoritative brand personality would work best, right? But if you prefer a friendly and approachable demeanor, you want to attract people who are friendly, then you would probably want to be more relatable, maybe be more, more casual with your personality, just a more casual tone. So those are the things to start thinking about. Now I have some examples in the next couple of slides. These are teams that are currently with Radius. And this is part of what Rod, our designer, he gave me these 3 examples of just really good examples of brand identity. So here's the first one, One Vision. So you can see the uniqueness of the symbol, and I actually wish Rod was here to explain, kind of how they came about this, because I wasn't sitting in that room. But so you can tell, you can immediately see the color. The color is subdued, it's natural, it's an earth tone. What does that convey? It probably conveys maybe being down to earth, being foundational, being solid. And then see, there's ultimate, it's blended into their One Vision. And they also chose the number 1 instead of spelling it out. That's probably intentional and on purpose. And so you can see that there's different elements that you can incorporate into your brand identity. And that's a good one. So here's the next one. Trajectory. So this is one of our teams in California, and it's a very interesting take on the letter T. And it kind of does look like it's a building, like there's 2 walls, a roof, and the side of the wall. So that does relate to real estate, in my opinion. That blue could be, the team lead's favorite color. It could also be blue represents calm. It represents just sort of peace, right? That's the color blue. Um, that is the tone and emotion that Trajectory is trying to convey to their potential clients. They can be reassured that, we're going to have a smooth transaction. You can be calm with us. It's a calming presence. Here's the next one, October Real Estate. Again, I don't have the history of why they chose the name October Real Estate. It could be a special month to them for some reason. Their favorite month, holiday is Halloween. I don't know. But the blue and the orange, those are just classic colors. They go very well together. The orange is bold, but it's subdued. It's not like it's overpowering. And then, we have the Realty Group right underneath. So it's absolutely attaching it to real estate. The look of the logo, of course, looks like houses or buildings of some sort. So and then the circle ties it all together. So all of these elements make sense. It makes sense for the real estate industry, and it's memorable. Like, it's really great. And Rod's good at this. So Rod helps out all of our teams who are developing their branding. Excuse me. I love how he can, simplify it to this circle logo here. And that can be used in a multitude of different ways. But if you have these 3 different logos that were created in tandem and that they match, it's your brand identity. You can have a cohesive look across all touch points, which we're going to talk about in another slide. But also you have that consistency, but you also have some variety. So you don't have to do the same one all the time. And if it doesn't fit right on the page, you're like, great, what do I do? No, it's always going to look sharp because you have different sizes and different styles, but they're all in one cohesive theme. Okay, so create a brand voice. So we're going forward with our brand identity, right? This is a key thing. So define your brand voice attributes. That's the first thing. So choose 3 to 5. This is an idea. Choose 3 to 5 adjectives that describe your brand voice. For an example, it could be professional, informative, and friendly. These attributes should align with your brand personality and audience preferences. The next one, create a brand voice chart. Develop a chart that outlines your brand voice attributes, explains what each means, how they should be used in your communications, and then include the do's and don'ts to provide clear guidance. And see, what we're creating here is that last one, the style guide. Each of these elements is going to be part of your style guide that you're going to push forward and train your staff with. So develop examples. Create examples of how your brand voice can be applied in different types of context. So that's social media posts, blog, articles, emails, advertising. This will help ensure consistency across all platforms. And it's really great for people who are helping you, like they're, your marketing specialist that you have on staff, or the freelance social media professional that you hire. This is what you're doing. You're creating that complete style guide that's going to be here. This is how we do our brand voice. So you don't have to do it all. Once you do the very foundation of it, you can then have it for future. So incorporate emotion. Consider the emotional impact of your brand voice. So how do you want your audience to feel when they read your content? Your voice could be designed to inspire, reassure, educate, entertain, or persuade. In that example that I told you, showed you with Trajectory, to me, that conveys like a calm, sort of calm, confident demeanor. The color does. So that's what I mean about incorporating emotion. How does it make you feel? How do you want it to make you feel? So train your team. So make sure everyone who communicates on your behalf or on the behalf of the brand communicates the brand voice. provide training and resources so they can effectively apply it in their work. This will lead to brand consistency, and it'll be just much more memorable to anyone who sees your marketing. They can just immediately know what you stand for. That's the idea, right? This is it. This is the strategy that you want to do. So create a style guide, document your brand voice in a comprehensive style guide. So this guide should have your voice attributes, your examples, your usage guidelines, any nuances specific to different types of content or platforms. Okay, next slide. Build a brand story in real estate. So I love this one because this can carry you through with a lot of things. It can carry you through with your future, how you want people to remember you. Do you have a really unique story? First of all, how did you get into real estate? I've heard of some amazing stories as, oh yeah, this is a really one of my favorites, but you know, this woman had come, she came as an immigrant as a young child, and she saw that how hard her mother worked, and they finally did get a house through Habitat through Humanity. And she just always, home was everything to her. And she got into real estate. She's a very successful real estate now in the Dallas area. And she absolutely volunteers to Habitat to Humanity. And she's one of the top contributors. Like, she's brought her whole brokerage to do like multi projects per year. So that's her story. That's her why. Why is she in real estate? She's successful. She's authentic. That's a real brand story. I love that. So think about that. What successes have you had? Do you have a story? Why do you consider whatever you do, residential real estate, important, or commercial real estate? What do you do and why? A compelling story can create an emotional connection with audience and can help you connect. We're all about connection here and relationships. So the story, just in an authentic way, bridges that connection. Consistency across all touch points. So I kind of talked about this a little bit earlier, but so we have, you want to make sure that everything sort of matches: business cards, social media profiles, your website design, the listing presentations. So once you have your brand identity drilled down, hyper drilled down, and focused on that in the different slides that we've already talked about, you're going to be able to have a package of design elements that you can move forward with any marketing you do. I know business cards aren't really used much anymore, but hey, if you still do them, have consistency with that. Social media profiles, all of that needs to be consistent. So when somebody sees you on TikTok or Instagram, they're going to see that you have a brand identity. And to me, seeing a brand identity solidifies you as a business professional. It solidifies you as committed to your industry. These are things that you should do. So remember, always keep an eye on market trends. You want to make sure that you are that you're not outdated. So this brand identity can carry you through your entire career, but something that you created 30 years ago is not going to look right still. So you have to keep up with the market trends. And really what I mean is technology and social media. Keep up with that, right? And you can adjust some of these things as you go with your brand identity. But having that logo, that image that solidifies who you are over the decades potentially makes sense. Even if it's a little bit modernized over time. Like, I keep thinking about what I learned in college was about Coca-Cola, right? The Coca-Cola brand, it's been around for over 100 years. The colors are still the same. The logo is still the same. But of course, it just is refined over the years, but it's still very, um, very distinguishable. And so that's the idea, is come up with something that that has longevity. I didn't mention that earlier, but when it's authentic, when it's really, when it's thought through, I think it has longevity. It can stick with you for your career. So also be memorable and easy to remember. You don't want people like stumbling on how to spell your name and all of this stuff. Like, you want to make sure that they can find you if they just remembered one thing about your brand identity. Colors are important. Think about your colors and what they convey to you. Red and orange and all of these, our primary colors have a lot of emotion and a lot of meaning just based on our culture. So think about that, and then have fun. Make sure it's fun. Um, so I kind of went through that pretty quick, but I wanted this to be concise, and this to be just a quick reference when you're thinking about your marketing. If you need to revamp it, whatever, just watch this class again. If you have any questions, jot down my email. I'm always here available if you have questions or if you want to meet. So there we go. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
I know it's short and sweet, but there was no one else to chime in.
No, that was perfect. Here, let me manage and stop the recording.